Good morning, Son Up on 7 family. It's so good to have you here with us, and I hope that everybody enjoyed that rich Monday morning beef conversation with Jules. Let me remind you, if you missed any of our conversations, you can go on our YouTube channel. Enjoy everything we have for you here on Son Up on 7, and I also invite you to share our social media networks within your community because we gotta get the Son Up on 7 community growing, and of course, it's always so beautiful to engage with you. It's time for our first conversation. It's summer, and there's a lot of summer programs going on. And it's so beneficial because we cannot leave our kids out, right? So we're leaving no one behind here. So to talk to us about what the Ministry of Education has planned for this summer, we're gonna have a conversation with CEO Diane Mejia and her Chief Education Officer, Ms. Yolanda Gongora. Good morning to you both, ladies.
Good morning.
So good to have you here on a Monday morning.
Yeah, thanks for
all
having
fresh
us.
and everything.
Always love the couch is always open to you.
Yes.
We appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming.
So we had a pre-conversation before we got into our conversation. Very excited people, like the energy here for our young people is like off, it's just through the roof, really is. And so let's catch up. I feel like just the title alone lets you know what's going down, basically. And we've talked about how young people have really slipped through the crack when we had COVID. There's been a lot of people that have had a learning gap now. And so now we're playing catch up. So let's talk a little bit about the idea of let's catch up. We had already had initial conversations about it, but let's go into it now.
So I need to give credit where it's due. Minister Fonseca said several weeks ago, he said, we have to do something for these kids.
Yes.
And he said to me, can't we do like in a summer camp form? And so that was the genesis of the idea right there, right? He started it, and Minister Zabanet took him up on it, and we started rolling. So the entire focus of the Let's Catch Up Summer Camp is entirely, as you said just now, it's to help kids to catch up. To kind of bring it into the focus for us, we're targeting children, ages 5 to 9.
Okay.
So that's like infant 1 to standard 3 level.
Okay.
And the rationale for that is that we know that children of this age learn really quickly. We also know that they can lose that information very quickly.
Yes.
And they have been so impacted by the pandemic. Some of the children in this age group have had next to no face-to-face classroom time ever in their lives. You think about it, right?
Oh, yes,
because we had about a 2-year closure for face-to-face as we knew it before. So we decided that this age group would be the age group that we would focus on. And that's really where it came from. We also recognize the fact that if what we want to do is to mitigate learning loss, like for us, when we started with this concept paper, we were looking at it as the learning loss mitigation project. It's a lot of words. Let's catch up is much easier.
Like that
Let's catch up is easier.
Let's not do that one.
Yeah, but if the goal is for us to really try to mitigate the learning loss, try to lessen the effects of that gap, as you called it, we recognize also that 1 week wouldn't be enough.
Definitely.
And so what we've learned from research is that 8 weeks, 30 minutes of literacy and 30 minutes of numeracy a day, that is a good, that gives a child a reasonable, what's the word I'm looking for? Like that can help the child to regain what he or she has lost.
Definitely.
So it's a long time, but that's what we're setting out for. It's meaningful.
I love the amount too as well, because 30 minutes to me, that's like an episode of Netflix or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's really how far your attention span can go to a certain degree. After an hour, you start like, you lose them. Especially at that age,
especially
5 to
at
9.
that age. Right.
I commend the initiative because for like most parents this time, they're looking for something for their kids to do, especially from the awareness that they've missed out so much due to COVID.
So
you're right.
That's a great point because of the BDAT. Yeah, so Chief can explain that.
And what I wanted to say is that just like how parents look forward to summer with something exciting, we want this to be exciting. We want the facilitators understand that it's about the excitement, so the child returns the second day.
Okay.
You don't want them to say,
the first day is the big day, right?
Right. So today is the big day.
Today is the big day.
And definitely the assessment of the BDAT has shown us where we have the missing areas for our children. And definitely, we understood that it's for all the primary school children, but at this point, the children from ages 5 to 9 is where we need to capture the information and try to bring them back.
Right, which is critical
If
too,
you
because-
remember, we administered the diagnostic test,
Yeah.
the BDAT.
Yeah.
So the analysis of the BDAT helped us to identify the areas where the students were weakest. And those are the areas that are going to be covered in the camp.
Perfect.
Okay.
So logistics.
I'm just gonna like let's
Let's talk
talk
logistics.
logistics,
It's
yeah.
very important. We have identified lead teachers from across the country in literacy and numeracy at this age level. The lead teachers, starting today at 9 o'clock, are going to be delivering their lessons. They've been working for weeks, okay, preparing. They're going to be delivering their lessons from a studio in Belmopan.
all of them.
Okay.
One at a time.
Okay, one at a
30
time. I was
minutes,
like-
30 minutes for literacy, 30 minutes for numeracy. The lessons are going to be made available countrywide because you can, if you have registered, and we'll talk about the registration process, if you're registered, so you are attending camp in person, you are going to be attending camp at a learning center.
Okay.
We have, if you look at your screen, 5 schools that are serving as learning centers in each district.
Yeah.
So there are 30 learning centers across the country. Each learning center is set up with 4 classrooms. All right? So each learning center can accommodate, say, 120 students. All right?
Okay.
So we can accommodate, the goal is 2,400 students in person. The learning centers have center supervisors who are coordinating, and then each classroom in the learning center has a teacher who's like a teacher facilitator. So the lesson is being delivered by the lead teacher, but the facilitator is in the classroom with the students who are there to facilitate, to support. The lessons are going to be
Innovative.
streamed
I like it.
through our new website, which we're going to talk about. I can't wait to get to that part. But they're going to be delivered through YouTube. So if in the classroom, you know, we're talking here, I'm the teacher, the lesson is happening because the chief is giving the lesson, and all of a sudden, Renata has a problem, I can press pause. Because it's still happening. And so we can engage, and then we can go back to it. So that's one way that you can participate in the Let's Catch Up Summer Camp.
Right.
You can register and be in person at one of the learning centers.
And that's really good. In case somebody doesn't have internet, right? They can
Yes.
go to this facility.
Also,
Okay.
these sessions are broadcast, so they're accessible through our social media, through our website, through our Facebook page. We'll talk about the website. And they're also going to be broadcast live on radio. So they're on Love FM,
So they're
which
gonna
is
get it.
countrywide. So if you don't have internet and you can't get to a learning center, you can tune in to the radio and you can hear the lessons as they will be given.
Talking about the radio, I want to ask Ms. Gongora about that dynamic, because focusing on, like, with the class, how it's going to be working. There's going to be somebody like guiding you through YouTube, but there's somebody going to be in person with you. But when we talk about the radio, I'm thinking it might be a bit challenging because you're going to be home and you might just be on your own trying to like guide, and it's very auditory, right? So it's like, how can students engage and get the concept from this Let's Catch Up?
I'm wondering if you're being fair with me. Because that was what we did when,
Yeah.
you know, we didn't have that kind of, like you
Exactly.
said.
Back in the
And
day.
we listened to all the you know, the novels, the readings
That's
by
true.
radio.
That's true. My mom
and you
said
got
that, yeah.
engaged. But then here is where we would ask parents' involvement,
Yes.
the encouragement of
Yeah.
parents. My parents may not have known, but just encouraging us, this is your time. You need to listen. And thereafter ask, what did you learn from it? How can I help you? And if I can't help you, where do we go for that? And so the community is an area that we're asking also to be a part of it. You know, without the community, we are unable to meet the targets that we want to target. So Yes, we may say that there be challenges with the radio, but we are appealing to parents to be a part of this initiative. With your help, there's so much that we can accomplish.
thank
I
you.
believe you guys have gone to or heard many graduation speeches where the kids said, if it wasn't for my parent, I wouldn't be this person that I am.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for my teacher, I wouldn't be this person that I am. And if it wasn't for my neighbor that was also looking out for me. So it, like we always like to say, it takes a village to raise a child. So we're praying and hoping that our parents understand that this is important.
Yeah.
Help
Yeah,
us in that
and I like
area.
that point of reflection where you said, this is nothing new. We've done it before. That's how we grew. So I love
Parents
to
can be
see
able to
that,
be key on that, too,
that
because
is
we heard it from
applicable,
the radio.
right?
We can tell you how to do this. We got your back in that way.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'm super excited. We have to get into the website. Please, let's get into the website.
So, we have spoken in public and in private and about the concept that the Ministry of Education has of starting a national school portal. We today begin the maiden voyage of our national school portal. It's called 501
job.
Academy.
I like it.
And
I
so,
love the name, by the way.
yes, so you can access 501academy.edu.bz online. And if we see, all right, so there we go. If you go to projects, for example, right? See, here we go. That's our registration image there for our summer camp. The registration form is live on the website as well. You just click on it. It takes about a minute and a half to fill in. And if you click on, you click, say, for example, on the Belize district, right? Once you're filling it out, once you get to the district,
Yeah.
you click on that, the centers automatically come up,
Oh, wow.
right?
Okay.
So, yeah, Learning Center District. The centers automatically come up. There you go. You see,
At the
go
bottom,
down a little
James?
bit, down at
Down,
the
yeah.
bottom. Yeah, there you go. You see the centers that are there, and you see spaces available, right?
Well, it looked like.
Look at you.
So-
We thought we were not like so tech savvy.
Join me. We're
okay.
going
I guess,
places,
yeah.
right?
Oh my
We got
gosh.
this,
Yeah.
right?
All right.
See, so you can see where the spaces still are, right? The center supervisors obviously also have access to this. So if you still want to get your child, or you go to a center and they really can't accommodate because of space, they can also tell you where's another center
Right.
that's available, right? So that's
Yeah.
the idea there for that.
Yeah.
So this form, if you don't have internet and you go to a center,
They can enroll
someone
you, right?
at the center
Yes,
can do
that's
this for you.
for you.
That's
Beautiful.
not a problem,
Beautiful.
okay?
Beautiful.
So that's how you register. And that's how we get the data. That's how we know that we, like up to yesterday, we were at 62% of our target enrollment already,
Okay.
Wow.
right?
Right.
So there's that. That's on our website. If we could go back now, you can also see from the site. Let's see if we can do this. All right. So we have the information here for the registration. If you go back to projects,
So we're going to
you
project.
can see. Yeah, let's look at projects, because remember,
Yeah.
this is a brand new site, right? So this is what we're going to use to navigate the camp as we move forward. Let's see
Okay.
here. There's information on here also for you to access the playlist really of the videos every day as they're gonna
Okay, and
roll
that's
out.
really good for in case somebody didn't
You
was able
can
to
always
meet the space,
go back.
They can
Or also the
they can
parents
do
can
it on
also
their
check
own.
in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It helps with content mastery, right? You can
Yes.
go back and play it as many times as you
Exactly.
need
That's perfect. Because
to.
you could miss something along the way when you're
Right.
doing it in person too as well. You know? And so
Exactly.
if you can go
So
back,
even if you go in person and you need to go back later on, it's there.
and it's just 30 minutes each.
it's 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So there's two levels. There's a 5 to 7-year-old and an 8 to 9-year-old. And they each do 30 minutes,
30 minutes.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. You know, like I absolutely love it because reflecting on the report that came out from UNESCO, UNICEF, it says because of the COVID pandemic, 4 out of 5 children might not be able to read a text, right? So it's really like sticks out to me that we're addressing it now because this will affect us in the future, right? If we do not address kids relearning and learning all over again and having education access. So This is absolutely beautiful, and I commend you and your staff for such a great work. We encourage
guys said you were
parents
gonna do it, and
to
you
also
did
sign
it.
up as well for this.
And I just want to remind people too as well,
yeah.
although the camp is starting today, which is June 27th to August 19th, that is 8 weeks.
Yeah.
It's Mondays to Thursdays.
Okay, Mondays to Thursdays.
Mondays
so
to
you get a break on
Thursdays,
Friday.
yeah.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that. And so, reminder that also though, they can still be able to learn even after
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
the camp is
Yeah.
finished. So I think that's really important too, that, you know, the learning never stops, that refresher never stops, that way that you can be able to gauge in, parents can learn too as well with their child. I think all of that in itself can allow people to get that holistic approach to school, because there are a lot of gaps that need to be filled in. There are a lot of areas that need to be, you know,
Definitely.
catch up on.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do just want to mention that we have had a lot of support in this. Aside from the fact that our team has been working constantly, we have a really excellent support team, our ICT team, our science and technology team, and our NSP, our National School Portal team. Those guys have been doing great work. But we also have had excellent support from our partners. One of the key first things that we had to do in identifying the centers was identify the schools that had good internet, obviously.
Yeah.
And Digi has been a great partner with us in ensuring that, you know, the internet infrastructure was and is up to date for these schools. IOM, the Office of Migration, have worked with us to sponsor, because one of the things we're doing is we're compiling toolkits of learning aids and learning manipulatives that will be in the classrooms. So the lead teachers have access to the kits, and then the kits are going to be inside the classrooms.
Beautiful.
So that, you know, if the teacher says, well, here we have 2 mugs, the facilitator in the classroom can say, okay, guys, here are your mugs. Let's use this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
Beautiful.
IOM has been a sponsor, and UNICEF also has been incredibly supportive of us through this. So we're all really working together because we share the same priorities to try to improve learning
It's like
loss.
community feeling where
And like you said,
It takes a village.
I
Like
was
what
just
you
gonna go back,
said.
like you just said it earlier,
Right.
like
Yeah.
it takes
As-
a village, and
yeah.
we can clearly see that you guys have the village supporting. I really
Yeah.
want to encourage parents out there to register their children at this present moment. It starts now at 9 p.m.
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Why did I get p.m.?
I have no
bedtime.
idea what
Not
to do.
bedtime. I posted
Yes.
it at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
and it runs straight through from Monday to Thursday. Friday we get a time off, and it's up to August 19. However, there's many ways. Radio, there's based on YouTube, there's based on the website, there's
Right.
based in person. There's
See,
so
this
much
is the
avenues.
schedule right
And the
there.
schedule is posted too as well, so you can go out and check. If you have any questions, I'm sure they can message on the Facebook page
Absolutely.
in anything way that they can be able to
Absolutely.
figure it out, guys. Let's allow these children to catch up. Let's catch up.
Let's
Honestly,
catch up.
yeah, you can't.
Let's catch up.
Hashtag
Let's catch up.
So
Definitely.
thank you so much.
And to reach out to our
Yes.
DCs, our district education centers, in the event they are not aware, I mean, they can provide them information. This is the beginning of getting the children back in school,
Exactly.
right? This is how we will identify who did not return and how we can go for them and assist them to return back to schools. That's number one that we have to
Beautiful.
work
Let's
on.
put these
Beautiful.
children at the
Thank you,
forefront
thank
and
you so
let's
much.
give them what they need.
Let's catch up.
Let's
Yes.
catch up. Hashtag let's catch
Thank
up.
you
I'm
for
going to be
catching up
using
with us.
that for
Yeah.
Thank
We
you.
truly
Thanks for letting us
appreciate you,
catch up on a
ladies.
Monday.
Yes, we love
We
it.
love it,
We
and
love
thank you so much for creating this in such an effective way too as well. Like even with the spaces, everything that you guys are doing, we're really like, who said we couldn't do it? Anyways, with that, we go to our next commercial break. When we're back, we're sticking on that learning curve. I'm going to be talking to Pat Light and learning a little bit about what's happening when it comes to a learning conference this time. Ignite the Spark Innovative Teaching for Inspired Learning. All that and much more. Stay tuned.